ISO to the NDs. Jeray. Yeah, we cruising through. In that 97 Cutlass, strolling through the air. Bass booming, it's a party inside the slab. It's whatever, baby, you could put it on a tab. Blessings in the wind, shall I see it, then I grab. Ay. Probably with the set, making bangers. Spare time, we be ride swingers. Pushing on them gears, pushing on them gears. Out here, and we swinging. Watch for the scanners, watch for the scammers. We be setting standards, we be setting standards. Only going forward, ain't no going backwards. Anytime we in the booth, it's a fire hazard. Put some Dayton's on it, now they hating on it. Supreme clientele, they was waiting on it. Pontiac, Firebird flying on them. I got a need for speed, I'm a Florida on them. Gran Turismo, running game on them. This is custom kitted, whip the paint on them. Forza Motorsport, change lanes on them. Twisted metal gang, throw the flame on them. Hey, probably with the set, making bangers. Spare time, we be ride swingers. Pushing on them gears, pushing on them gears. Out here, and we swinging. Watch for the scanners, watch for the scammers. We be setting standards, we be setting standards. Only going forward, ain't no going backwards. Anytime we in the booth, it's a fire hazard. Woke up feeling blessed, I ain't dealing with no stress today. Staying to myself, cause I won't let them get the best of me. We been pushing forward, we ain't focused on what's yesterday. They wanna know the formula, can let them know the recipe. Whoa, metal to the floor, hear the engine roar. Pull the top down on the 2 doors. You can't push no buttons in this new car. Can't let them push our buttons, we came too far. Sometimes you gotta remind them what you do it for. We done came up, we was too poor. Got the butters on the feet, we from New York. They can feel it in our body, know we too pure. We was too mature, way before 24. I got kicks up in my closet that I never wore. We was down bad, now check the new score. They know it's ISO to the indie, we the new norm.
97 Cutlass, strolling through the air. Bass booming, it's a party inside the slab. It's whatever, baby, you could put it on a tab. Blessings in the wind, shall I see it, then I grab. Ay. Blessings in the wind, shall I see it, then I grab. Ay. Blessings in the wind, shall I see it, then I grab.
Ay. Probably with the set, making bangers. Spare time, we be ride swingers. Pushing on them gears, pushing on them gears. Out here, and we swinging. Watch for the scanners, watch for the scammers. We be setting standards, we be setting standards. Only going forward, ain't no going backwards. Anytime we in the booth, it's a fire hazard.
Give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up. Get up and go, I stay ready for more. Go to the toe till I level the score. Never gon' quit. Heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick. Just give me the loot. See now we going high stakes. This ain't clickbait. This a risk take, this no mistake. I was born to do it. I was born for music, I just get into it. I can't get influenced when I'm the influence. No genre music. We go rap back to pop back to rap. Country on the track. I was once broke, I was down bad. Swear I'm never going back. I'm from upstate where we see a little bit of this and some of that. Little city is of sticks. Watch me put it on the map. Someone get attacked. If you're not first, you're last. Life is a race, don't you lag. I get a bag and I stack. The reason I tax was not cause they needed me. Got all of mine equally. I see what they need from me. Blood, sweat, and tears from the frequency. Now you believe in me. Cheers for me. Give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up. Get up and go, I stay ready for more. Go to the toe till I level the score. Never gon' quit. Heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick. Just give me the loot. Word on my palm at the top of the game. Still unashamed, no one to blame. Took all the L's and I rose from the pain. Can't have the sun without seeing the rain. And it rained down when the rain came. See the time change, rolling plane.
Hey, all work, no pleasure. I ain't here to make friends, big stepper. Ay, bad guy, Heath Ledger. Ready for wherever, I'll be front and center. Don't fly too close to the sun, your body chopped up by propellers. Came in arrogant, but left out in a stretcher. The comparison, y'all know y'all couldn't replicate it. Chilling in the desert, I'm good under pressure. Stick around when we hold it down, look at what we found. This a marathon, not a sprint, let's go 100 miles. From the ground, when we to the clouds, never coming down. That's the crown.
Welcome to the official podcast of PHP Architect. Join us to listen to the latest news and tech talk from our conferences, the magazine, and wider PHP community.
Whoops, I jumped the gun. Nobody saw it there, right?
Nobody saw it. Nobody watches the podcast. The audio listeners didn't see it, that's for sure. Hey, John.
Hey, Eric, how are you?
I'm back in SoCal. That's a plus.
How was your trip?
It was good. We got our Discord starting to sound off here. Chris, Jeff, Sarah, who's I've been overcommitted to a statement Sarah made. We'll get to that in a little bit. And,
Overcommitted, huh?
Yeah. Hey, Rick. And yeah. Right. What's that last one?
Well, James is here and Renus. I don't know how you want us to pronounce that.
Yeah, you gotta be more specific. Thanks everybody for joining us in our Discord at discord.phparch.com. If you're listening to the audio podcast, you can catch us live when we record, which is around this time, Thursday, 3 p.m. Pacific time.
Right around this time.
Or on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/PHP Arch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Something up.
I am back. A little bit of a drive. I did a lot of driving this week. Probably the most driving I've done in San Francisco in a while.
Actually, before you start on that, can I say this episode of the podcast is brought to you by Displace Tech, and I hit the wrong button.
I mean, it's a D, so you're almost there.
It was in
our partners over at Displace
Technologies, yes.
Yeah. We'll talk about it more in a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, just ended up driving around a lot.
You were not driving. I saw the charge come through for Waymo. What are you talking about?
I know. I had the company card. I'm like, because I didn't have my glasses on, and I never I don't even know why the company card was on that account. I'm a Waymo fool, man. I love the Waymo. It's part. We go to San Francisco, I have to drive in a Waymo. I still haven't driven one in LA because I'm just never in a spot to call one. But San Francisco is my thing. And we had something weird happen. So I think I told you last time, people taking pictures of the Waymos is a very, very common thing, right? Because it is jarring to see this, especially when there's no passengers. You just see this empty vehicle driving around, and it's just whoa, But we've had the last time, it was last time or the time before that when we went up to San Francisco, I called a Waymo, and I explained that a Waymo's not like an Uber. It doesn't necessarily come to you and pick you up where you are. Depending on the situation, traffic patterns and everything, sometimes it'll park down the street or around the block. It'll say, hey, I'm parked, come to me. And that happened to us last time. And as we're walking to it, there are tourists, obviously, all pressed against it, taking pictures, trying to get into it. And it's funny because you can unlock the door. So they see the door unlock, and they jump back, and we walk over to it. It's cool because they're all the same vehicle. So they're all these Jags. So it's not like you're looking for a particular license plate or a particular make or model of a car like you do with an Uber. But they have on top of the roof, they flash your initials. So you wait for your little initials come up like, all right, that's us right there. Let's go. And this time we had the weirdest thing happen where we're in the Waymo and we're driving like, in the middle of a random part of the city. I mean, it's San Francisco. It's very much like, I guess, Manhattan or something where tourists are everywhere. Like there aren't that many like non-tourist areas of San Francisco. So you can be driving along these like just, random streets and there's just people walking around who are just taking in the experience. And the Waymos are very, very pleasant, I guess. And because like people can stand in front of them. I think my kid was telling me a story about somebody had jumped on the hood of their Waymo, and of course the Waymo just stays there. It's not going to argue with the person on the hood or anything. It just stands there. You're sitting in there like an idiot. It's like, could you move? But we're driving along the road, and you see the people get excited and start pointing. And I'm like, I always got to do the whole thing. He's like, yeah, that's me. I'm the podcaster. Yep, that's me. Then they whip out their cameras and start taking pictures. And like we're in the car. The car is like, it's not pulled over. It's stopped because it's a stop sign. And they're just like taking pictures and getting in front of the car. I'm like, okay, move. Like we're going there. Move.
There's actual people in here. It's not an empty car driving.
I can see it because the windows are pretty tinted, and it was like it was getting dark. So I can see that, but I sit in the front because there's typically at least 3 of us and that take them. So I'm sitting in the front, so you can see me through the windshield. Like it has a windshield. It's like, come on. Oh, yeah, it was.
Are you on the driver's side or are you on the passenger side?
So Beck was wondering that this trip. I don't think you're allowed to get in on the driver's side. I keep meaning to check to see when I unlock the doors if the driver's side unlocks, because the driver's side has a steering wheel, and I assume it has pedals. I didn't actually look, but so I don't think you're allowed to get on the driver's side, but I could be completely wrong. I've never tried. So yeah. But it was fun. We had some good food. Oh man, such good food. And we did like I said, we did some driving. We actually went to Costco up there, which is surprisingly nice. And yeah, it was a good time. My kid is saying the seat is locked, so I guess you're not allowed to get in the driver's side. I'm sure there have been people who have tried to climb over to the driver's side or grab I have seen like stories of people grabbing the steering wheel, but no, we don't do anything like that. Yeah,
you don't even look over to see if there's a pedals down there.
No, I just and typically like there's a 50-50 chance I'm intoxicated, because that's when we take the Waymos. Daddy doesn't want to drive. Daddy wants to get hammered tonight. So I just but it was, I love the Waymos, man. They're cheap. They're so much cheaper than Ubers are. I didn't realize what the price difference was. I really noticed it this trip. And yeah, they're so cheap. You don't have to tip. And again, introverts like myself, I don't want to make small talk. I don't want to feel like I'm being rude to the driver. So it's just like, yeah, there's nobody there. Just take me somewhere. So it's good. I do love the Waymos. I think they're a lot of fun. But yeah, San Francisco is good.
Were they coming to San Diego? I forget.
They have to be. They have to. That has to be the next place here in California. I can't imagine them going anywhere else but California. But San Diego, because they're already in LA. They're already in San Francisco. I mean, Sacramento, maybe, but I really don't think so. Especially when you talk tourists. Yeah, I definitely feel like San Diego has a huge tourist population, and that's where the Waymo really, I feel like, shines. It's just to get tourists around. But yeah, I do like San Francisco. We're like building our routine. We ate a restaurant this time that's going to have to make the list moving forward. Like we have our Buena Vista where we go, where they are credited for bringing Irish coffee to America. And I have some history with that one because I have a friend who introduced me who like was partial owner or his parents were owners or something. So we always kind of make that one of our stops and drink Irish coffees. But we hit a restaurant on Fisherman's Wharf, which I've always kind of been like a little hesitant about Fisherman's Wharf because that is the tourist spot, you know.
Mhm. Yep.
And so I'm like, they're just whatever. But no, we went to a seafood place that was just dynamite. I keep thinking about that meal and wanting it again.
What do you remember the name of it? Because the last time I was there, and I went to Fisherman's Wharf, was when I was eating fish and stuff. So can't remember there on the dock.
Blonde Jet is in our Discord. They might know it. If the wife is around, I'm sure she knows it. But yeah, I don't know. I just pay the bill, man. I pay the bill and move on. But yeah, it's surprisingly good. And we even went down. So we didn't go down to San Jose. Again, the kid could tell you where we were. We were like halfway between San Francisco and San Jose, San McCall or something like that. And met up with a friend of our kids, not our friends. We actually have friends that we haven't seen in San Francisco in a while. I keep meaning to reach out to them, but yeah, it was a good time. I had a good time. Drive home. The drive, man, dude. So it's an 8-hour drive, in like straight up 2 to 3 hours of that drive is just getting through LA. You know what they say, right? It takes you 2 hours to get to LA from LA. It's horrible. But it's like an 8-hour drive, but so much of it is just flat, straight road. And we were in one of the faster cars we have, and San Mateo. There we go. Show comes current wife coming through for me. And I learned that our speedometer goes up at least to 125 because I was flying. And it all looks like the Windows desktop out there, just these rolling green hills, and it's not a bad drive, man. It really isn't. I don't mind it. It's just like 6 hours is like my limit, and I need a break, you know. But then you get there, it's like just 2 more hours to go. We can be there.
I don't want to stop.
You just want to be done by that time. How about you? How did you miss me?
Of course I did.
Of course you did. Not liar.
No, you still responded. What are you talking about? If I text you, you still respond. You're like a workaholic. I think you were messaging me while you were gone as well. Speaking of travel, my kid.
What are you wearing?
My kid gets to go on his own little trip here on Saturday.
Oh yeah,
he's going with. He does a skateboarding thing here locally, skateboard camp, like after school. He goes once or twice a week. He absolutely loves it. But that group does a trip to go snowboarding up at Big Bear. And Saturday morning, drop him off at 6 a.m. at the skate park, just a mile or so from my house. Don't pick him up till 8 p.m. He's just gone all day. So
it's not an overnight thing. They're just going up there for the day and coming back.
Yep. Go up in the morning,
yeah, man.
Do their thing, come back. So excited for him. Like
I actually thought about him this weekend.
Away. Oh yeah.
Yeah. We saw the Showcome's current wife there, my beautiful wife. We'll let you know. We saw a bunch of kids, like about your kids' age, probably even younger, and it looked like a movie scene. Like it was a skateboard park under a freeway, all graffitied out, and like just filled with these kids just having a good time. And I thought about your kid when I saw that. I'm like, which John's son love it here. So,
He would have a blast.
oh hell yeah, you would.
Yep. So I'm super excited for him. There's always the nerves of he's going to be 4 hours away. What if something happens? But if I'm there, I'm not going to be able to do anything anyway. He'll be okay. He's being taken care of. If something happens, I can get up there.
We let our kids go up there once without us, and they stayed at least one night, maybe a couple nights. It's a little nerve-wracking. We had adult children. I have to keep emphasizing adult children. Our children are not young, right? They're north of 25 now, and one lives up in San Francisco, the other one lives down in San Diego, and they have their own lives. San Diego kid, we see on a fairly regular basis. They'll usually come up, if not every weekend, at least 3 weekends out of the month. We'll see them, and then we're typically down in San Diego a couple times through the month as well. But NorCal kid, we don't get to see that much, and it's been stressful, right? Because San Francisco is a legit city. I mean, it's like San Diego is. I always say San Diego is like a Disneyland version of a city, right? It's just it's a city, but it's like it's just not quite like Manhattan or even Chicago or San Francisco. And so it's been nerve-wracking, right? And of course you're always worried about them and this. Well, we had an incident recently where they had to go to the emergency room. Dude, like, it just is gut-wrenching. I don't care how old your kids get. You hear that they're going to the emergency room, and it's just like, get in the car, we gotta go. And it's like, they can take care of themselves, they don't need anything, but dude, it's so hard, man. But they're fine. They're okay now.
Wrong hat. It's baseball season. You don't see it back there, but I had my little league draft last night. Oh
Fun.
my gosh, it was fun. Two funny stories from it. I know we're not talking PHP. Deal with it. We're having fun with this. We do the draft, and we have assessments. Like, we have data on the kids. We spent a full day. We had like 15, 20 managers out there, all ranking kids on their hitting, throwing, fielding, fly balls, all sorts of stats. Before the draft begins, the president and vice president both say, we have all the stats. We have a list, so we know, in order where these kids rank. And if you select somebody that's not within the range we think you should be selecting from right now, we're going to say something. Doesn't mean you have to change. We're just letting you know you may want to rethink we go through we're in the first round. The person at the bottom of the first round picks a kid probably in the bottom 10 or 15 kids. And of course, vice president speaks up. I show they rank way down here. You sure you want them? Oh yeah, I coached them in fall ball. Meanwhile, I'm like, none of us are going to take him for multiple rounds. You can get them later. Nope. Took him first round. Where it gets funny, the vice president took all their draft data and ran it through Claude, just trying to say, given all of this data, all of this assessment data, what are the odds of which team's going to win? He happened to draft one of the teams because we're short a manager.
Right.
His team had a 2-1 chance of winning the season.
Mm-hmm.
My team has a 4-1 chance. The third team, 8-1. That last team, a 50-1 chance of winning the season.
Never a long shot, baby. It's PHP ball. You never know what can happen.
I know it's going to be interesting, in a few months once the season wraps up, to see how everything actually played out.
Yeah.
but it's exciting. The second funny story, kid I had on my team absolutely loved the kid. There were 3 or 4 of us last night that wanted him on our team, except he's a 9-year-old. The division I'm managing is mostly 10 and 11, so we're allowed to have 0 or 1 9-year-olds on our team. So I'm thinking, I want him, but I'm not going to take him in the first few rounds. And somebody ended up taking him before I could. His mom reached out about somebody else, and I had this whole back and forth with her, and had her cracking up laughing. I was like, you should have seen the brawl we had in drafts over him last night. 4 of us wrestling on the ground. The coach who got him is just crazy strong. It's funny.
Yep. Let's see. I want to do something, but I don't want to do it.
All right. While you're doing that, let's go ahead and do. Let's tell people about Displace Technologies. How about that?
Sounds like a plan.
Thank you to our partners over at Displace Technologies. Building PHP applications is your passion. Managing cloud infrastructure shouldn't be your headache. Displace is your partner in cloud infrastructure orchestration, giving solo developers and small teams the tools and automation to deploy enterprise-grade Kubernetes clusters without the enterprise-grade complexity or cost. Their CLI tool streamlines everything from local development to fully managed cloud deployments on AWS, Azure, Google Cloud Platform, and more. Skip the steep learning curve of Docker, Kubernetes, and Terraform. Let their automation free you to focus on your core business without losing control of your infrastructure. Get started at displace.tech. That's displace.tech, and discover how the right tools can eliminate the need for a full DevOps team.
Thanks,
you, Displace.
Nice people. I'm looking forward to seeing them at Tech this year. I gotta admit, I absolutely love our Discord. Like, these guys are just hysterical. This is the little meme Sarah posted for your little league guys. So, yeah, we got Chris in here complaining about my my sense of humor, which is, I might add, spot on. But I will admit.
Now I want to go back in Slack and see what you said because I missed it.
I mean, I can say it here. It wasn't company stuff. Chris. Oh yeah, Chris posted a story about exploding trees.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And which I had never seen before, but doesn't surprise me. But I made the reference. It's a Splinter Cell terrorist group.
I did see that.
That was funny.
It was.
That restaurant we were at. I told the waitress, I'm like, we're ordering a lot of food. I just got out of prison, and she didn't miss a beat, man. She was right with me on the joke. I love it. Well, yeah,
yes.
I would not have wanted me as a dad growing up because it's horrifying. But I pull it off. I pull it off, John.
Chris, you're right. I did reply to it. I thought he said something today.
No. Today I was busy trying not to curl up in a corner and cry. We were just bouncing around.
How'd that work out for you?
It worked out. I love having smart people on our team. I will take some credit. I think I got us going down the right path. Like that's about all I can do now. Like I can kind of say like the obvious, well, what about this sort of thing, and then the smart people take over from there. But yeah, so we'll talk about it, I guess, a little bit. I've been talking for months, years, but months, and more specifically the last few weeks, of getting really close to being. Well, you're never done. You're never done with your project, right? It's like cancer. You never not have cancer. You're just not whatever, or you're never not an alcoholic,
but released to the masses.
Yeah. So so that finally happened, and I was so excited about it. And it happened on Monday, and we're on Thursday. Or no, it actually happened on Tuesday because everybody was shut down on Monday. So it happened on Tuesday. And of course, it's Thursday, and it was like very quiet, and nothing on Tuesday, nothing on Wednesday, and the team had all tested it and everything, and we're like, all right, like this is it, like it's live, and the developer had moved on to phase 3 of the project because they had more features and stuff that they wanted. And then this morning, god damn it, this morning, yeah, things broke, John.
What happened?
Things
See,
broke a little bit.
I had my own crisis, so I wasn't involved. I don't know. We haven't talked, so I have no clue what happened.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say corrupt data right now. We know the team kind of knows what corrupted a lot of the data, but not. There's still this one question. It's like, okay, we get why it happened to these 2 customers, but why did it happen to this 3rd customer? Because it doesn't really line up. And it's a mobile app, so like, I'm barely considered a developer with PHP. Don't get me started with mobile apps. And so yeah, I just like we did some kooky stuff with it. Not kooky, but we had to do some stuff with this application to appease the client, and kind of knew that. So like the first time something happened, which was today, I'm like, hey, did you check this thing that we had to do and make sure it wasn't related? And we think that might have been related. I don't know. But yeah, we'll get a full breakdown. And then, oh yeah. And then I'm in San Francisco. So I left on Friday. I came back on Monday. And I'm in San Francisco Sunday? Was it Sunday, John? Or Monday? Anyways, I'm looking at my Slack. I'm like, what is all this chatter for this client? Well, like, what's going on here? And we had a client that straight up wrote, I got bored.
Yes.
It's like, this is not going to end well. This is not going to end well by any means. And yeah, had a straight up emergency, client down.
1 a.m. our time.
1 a.m. Yep. I told him buy himself some Legos so the next time he gets bored, don't touch the code.
You got to finish that. He straight up said, I got bored. I did a deployment to production. Done.
Yeah. In his defense, it wasn't his fault. He had no business doing the deployment, but that's another story for another day. I mean, end of day, it's his environment. He can do whatever he pleases. So again, fortunately, we have smart people on the team, and it was weird because the hosting provider, who also provides the Docker containers, had made some changes, and yeah, it broke stuff hard. So like, had he not done that deployment, we would have the same problem the next time we did a deployment, but
we would have deployed to test or staging before going to production
during the day. Not like when Vampire is up, like normal people are awake and moving around. And yeah, it would not have been as impactful. But I tell you, man, it's like when that sort of stuff happens, that's when I realize how far we've come as a company. Because I mean, John, how many years? Like you and I we have walked away from conferences troubleshooting issues because there was nobody else to troubleshoot it. Things have been broken, and I mean, like probably the first 10 years of our company between Diego Dev and PHP Architect, I sleepless nights. Like you're just waiting because you've been in this industry long enough. It's not if something's going to go wrong, it's when something's going to go wrong, and it's always going to happen when you're not ready.
Right.
And but yeah, like I said, I stood by it. I didn't take a laptop with me to San Francisco. I did have my iPad, and I have Tailscale, so I mean, almost like a laptop. And I did actually SSH into a machine and do some things, but yeah, man, our team is just. I think like Joe is that last like piece that really rounds everything out nicely because it's such a load off our shoulders of just having somebody focus on the infrastructure and somebody who knows what they're doing. Not that our guys didn't. Our guys did a great job for however many years, but it wasn't their full-time gig, and it was actually an inconvenience. And still, they managed to push the infrastructure forward with a lot of things. So yeah, now it feels so good, man. Like that stuff happened on Sunday and I just stumbled upon it because I looked at my Slack. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have people calling me and blowing up my phone. Hey, yeah, production's down.
And I only noticed it because you added me just saying, hey, we need to talk about this when we get back on Tuesday. Like
Yeah.
that. And I'm like, whoa, what happened? And I went and read went back and read both Discord and Slack. I was like, okay. And then I saw the time. When I saw the time, I kind of flipped because we don't have an on-call contract. Like the fact that we were up and doing stuff is crazy.
Yeah. Fortunately, we do have we are a global team, so that helped a little. Didn't help Joe because Joe's here in the U.S. and so it sucked for him. But
I think he started more like 7 or 8 in the morning. He wasn't up at 1 a.m.
Yeah,
but
and either way, it was Sunday, right? Didn't it happen on Sunday?
I believe so.
So either way, nobody should have been working. I mean, even our guys shouldn't be working. So yeah, great team. It's so weird because as a company, you always have, I call them, I think people still call them elevator pitches, right? And so John and I have an elevator pitch on why you should engage with us, but we haven't used it in so long because fortunately we have a lot of word of mouth. And one of the team members said, hey, do you have, a pitch that you present to clients, potential clients? I'm like, yeah. We have, our whole backstory. And I went and looked at it and it hadn't been updated since we took over PHP Architect and was missing a lot of stuff. And like, I read the first one, which like was very, I felt at the time, very emotional, very impactful. And now I'm like, yeah, no, we're like beyond this now. Like we're like a legit, company. And because like before John, was talking about, why he came out, why he started the user group. Like there was a lot of talk about the user group and we started the company. And so I got to rewrite it. And it's like, we're pretty, I feel like we're pretty humble people. Like we don't like to toot our own horn too much, although I'm doing it a lot today. But man, it's like, I'm looking at this stuff. I'm like, I feel like I'm not selling this enough because like the team we have now is just so good. So yeah, good job, guys and ladies and everybody else in between. So I mentioned, all right, let's start with this. We had a thing this week and everybody pulled together. There was a poll on Mastodon. I guess IT World Cup does this. And they put PHP up against Python. And PHP was winning like late in the match. I mean, I'm like, hey, we could pull this off. It's possible. And people started reaching out to other people. And that's actually how I found out about it. Somebody had mentioned PHP Architect. I'm like, why is everybody mentioning on it Mastodon? I say me, the company. and I went and looked, and it was actually somebody had mentioned us, and then Oscar had bumped it, and I went and looked. I'm like, all right, I see what you're doing. And unfortunately, we have access to a few accounts, so I kind of skewed it a little bit, maybe, possibly, but yeah. So this happened, quarterfinal match, and we ended up losing. But what I don't understand, obviously, this number for Python is higher than this number for PHP. But PHP has the check mark. Oh, maybe that's because that's what I voted for?
Yeah, that must be it. How did it go up? Because I looked at it after it ended, and it was 51-49.
Us or them?
Them.
I don't know.
I could have sworn I looked after it ended. It was close, though.
Yeah, it was really close. And if you go to the actual thread, I mean, like, I think it's changed a little bit now, but like everybody engaging on this thread were from the PHP community or were kind of supporting PHP, which was really good to see. I think PHP definitely has one of the more engaging communities out there. I mean, you got this guy, what an idiot this guy is. Calling that out. But yeah, I even said, listen, if you haven't touched PHP in the last 10 years, don't vote. Don't vote. You don't know what you're talking about. Don't even do it. But yeah,
it was by the time they're in the comments, they've already voted.
Yeah, that's true. So I got Dimitri. I'm gonna get to you, Dimitri. I don't know if you're in our Discord right now, but Sarah posted. I think Sarah was the one that really got the ball rolling. And Sarah somewhere, here it is, right now, right here, talking about a cheerleader uniform, and there was some back and forth on this. I'm like, oh, that's funny. That's funny. Dimitri kind of overextended that a little bit, and volunteered me to wear it, and yeah, that's not good. Yeah, I'm not. So obviously, being an American, I have to say that this was rigged. This is rigged. That's same thing with the release manager thing. It's all rigged. It's all rigged against me. You know, it's all rigged against me. I see how it is, but. Yeah. Oh, I didn't share that with you guys. Sorry, I keep forgetting I have to hit that. Yeah, Dimitri. And if Python wins, this is Sarah. We'll hand the uniform over to Eric and go. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So fortunately, Sarah is not coming to tech this year, and yeah, I think I'm safe. But yeah, and Dimitri, you're no longer invited to Christmas. That's all I have to say about that.
Funny.
Mm-hmm. What about tech, man? You ready for tech? Dude, it's coming up so quick.
Don't tell anybody, but I've said we're not lowering, but if you're listening to the podcast, we love you, and there you go.
You got to stop doing this, man. You've got to stop giving discount codes. We got to break even before we give out discount codes.
I haven't given any. I gave one for like an education discount, and this is my second one, only for our podcast listeners. Don't tell anybody else. That's the deal.
Yeah, we need something on here talking about JS Tech and something on JS Tech's site talking about PHP Tech, but
yeah, I don't know if what we need to do. I'm in the process of bringing all the sessions into one Sessionize account so that we can have one list of speakers, one schedule. I just need a couple of the JS Tech speakers to accept their talks over on the PHP Tech side. Now, because I did it so quick, I didn't think about this time. Like, what happens after we get everything going? So I'm learning as I go, trying to make it easier for people. But I do want to make it clear, if you buy a ticket to JS Tech or PHP Tech, you can go to any session. It's not like you're stuck only in the JS track or only in the PHP track. It's basically, we're doing a 4-track conference again. We're just dedicating a track to JavaScript.
Yeah.
And
I actually got to talk about that this week. Yeah.
Good.
It's all the same price, and you only have to buy one ticket to one thing. Scott Tech Warren had me on. I don't know what it was. I'm pretty sure it's the Community Corner podcast, and talking about tech. It was good, man. It really kind of started to hit home on how close we were. And I think with Scott that actually brought up the fact that we have three release managers. There's Ben, there's Eric Mann, there's Daniel, right?
Oh, speaking, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, speaking. Yeah. 3 release managers. Why do I think there was a 4th? I think I keep thinking about Derek, but Derek's not going to be there this year. Oh, I said Eric Mann. Yeah. Ben Ramsey. And yeah, I think that's it. Just 3 PHP release managers. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, I love that stuff. So much fun. Got such a good community. So yeah. What else we got? We got anything else to talk about?
Couple things. The the early bird pricing ends January 31st. What I want to know from our listeners, please email me. If you are not coming to tech and you're in the United States, like I understand if you're out of country, it makes it logistically harder. But if you're in the US and not coming to tech, I would love to know why. Just, are we doing something wrong? Is it financial? Like, what is keeping you from coming? Because I can tell you what the conference has done for me in my life and how much fun it is overall. Like, the learning is great, the socializing is great, the board game night time is phenomenal, just a blast. So for me, it's, you get to hang out with like-minded people, having a great time for a few days, and learn a bunch of stuff that you can take back to your company and make yourself and that company better. And so I'm curious, if you're not going, why? You can hit me up in Discord, DM me. You can email me. My email address is easy, john@phparch.com. Would love to know.
Yes, Chris,
I'm begging to know.
I am most interested in the fact if the company you work for doesn't see value in it. That's what I'm most, and what would it take to see that value? Because I understand, like, this is not a cheap thing. If I was a lone, hobbyist developer, I would engage in this. Although on the spectrum of conferences, this isn't that expensive of a conference, but it's definitely not cheap. And my whole thing is, like, companies who depend on PHP should just be embracing this and, seeing what's coming down the pipeline. And so, yeah, I'm very, very, very curious about companies that just don't see the value of in-person conferences. And yeah, I don't know. It's tough.
I remember after my first time going to tech in 2010, going back, and because I enjoyed it so much and learned a ton, I created a whole slide deck that I then presented to the owner and the COO of the company I was at the time, because they paid for me to go and they got to see the value that they got from the money they spent. And then I implemented a bunch of the stuff that I learned. It's great.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't mean to step on my community corner interview, but like the thing about being in person, I mean, I get it. We have PHP Tech TV and yeah, for me, like PHP Tech TV is for, I'm going to the conference and I know there are going to be talks that are at the same time and I'm going to have to pick one. And so when I get home, I'll be able to watch the other one. But the thing I keep going back to is you hear people talking about problems that they've solved or problems that they're working on and other people have solved, and they'll chime in And like, they're problems you don't even think are going to impact you. Like, it's like, oh yeah, whatever. And then it happens like a year later, 6 months later, that problem creeps into your life. And you're like, oh, wait a minute. That's right. That guy, it wasn't even a presentation. We were sitting around lunch table and there was a guy from that company who did the same thing with the sys issue. And that guy said he had fixed it using this thing. And it's just so rewarding when that happens. It's so rewarding. So yeah, I get it. I mean, people, there's still people who are a little hesitant to do in-person stuff, but dude, it's hard. It's hard not to do this in person. I mean, I respect people who just do the virtual tickets, but if you can get here, get here. If you can't, let us know why. We want to try to fix those issues. Like, we want to break down whatever barriers that are out there for people.
The international barrier with our government drives me absolutely nuts, and I'm sorry. I wish I could do something about it. We haven't had any issues, but that we understand. We understand the concern. I get it. I did make sure when buying the flights for our international speakers to get travel insurance. So if something happens, like we're taken care of there. And yeah, I probably should have some backup speakers in case for that, huh?
Yeah. It's funny. The one work thing I was supposed to do this weekend, so NorCal kid is working with us in our marketing group and supposedly doing social at some point. They talked a big game, so we'll see how that turns out. But they are probably coming to tech, and
probably
the one thing was
definite.
Yeah, it's for sure. Yeah, I just I didn't want to paint them in a corner if they decided to pull out the last minute. But the one thing I was supposed to do this weekend was get their ticket, their airfare, and I didn't even do that. So I didn't jump on a call with them.
Derek, I'm terrible about buying insurance because very rarely do issues happen, and usually without the insurance, I at least get travel credit. So I've not bought travel insurance, but maybe it's a good idea.
I don't think it's ever really bit us too hard. I think maybe a couple times, but
I think it's hard because I booked so many flights as well. One, I see the additional cost of the insurance just balloons when you're talking 30 plus flights. And then on top of that, keeping track because each thing is a different insurance company and I'm not organized enough to be able to follow what do I need to do if something happens. Again, luckily, nothing's ever happened except for the one time with our keynote speaker last year. And I don't know if I ever did anything about their flight.
Oh, that's right. That was a weird situation, though. Yeah.
I never got flight credit. It was just a missed flight, and damn.
Yeah.
I was so in the moment of the conference last year because it was the night before it started.
Yeah,
They let us know. Yeah, they let us know they were missing their flight because of they witnessed a car accident, and I never followed up on anything with the airline.
Well, you had a conference to run at the time.
I know, but that was months ago. Why is it just now occurring to me? Like, hey, we didn't even try.
They probably wouldn't have done anything, right? Because the flight had already gone. So it's not like they could have freed up the ticket for somebody else.
That's true.
Yeah. That was so weird. I think we've talked about it, but if this is your first time or one of your first times listening, we're coming back from the speaker dinner. And John's like, hey, you ready for this? I'm like, what? He's like, the keynote presenter yesterday or tomorrow, they're not going to be here. I'm like, shut up, dude. I'm not in the mood.
This is 11 p.m. at night.
Yeah, it's like 11 o'clock. We've been drinking.
10 hours before they're supposed to be on stage.
And I think we were troubleshooting something in one of the rooms. Like there was a hum or something in one of the speakers. Yeah. And you said that to me. I'm like, shut up. I'm not in the mood. He's like, I wish I was kidding. Oh man, that was horrible. Yeah. Yeah, there's just no planning for that stuff. Yeah, it happens. Fortunately, they were okay, which is, I mean, it was unfortunate what they witnessed, but they didn't get hurt, so that was good.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, man. I don't know. I'm out of stuff.
So you talked about your issue last this morning or today.
Mhm.
For me, it was I had code released last night, and
Oh, that's right.
coming this morning, you're telling me, "Hey, I might need you to help us debug this," and I'm like, "Let me know," but I'm also fighting my own fire over here. But it was a fire that I caused.
You lit the match.
Yeah, it was a relatively simple refactor. Basically, I needed to store something in one of two S3 buckets.
Mm.
And it was going back for years, it was running. I was just dropping to a shell and running AWS on the command line to copy files up to S3. I don't know why, but I thought that would be faster than using the AWS library, PHP library. Maybe I should have tested it, but I didn't. I just,
Mhm.
I made assumptions. So we start seeing that it's taking longer and longer for us to have these processes, separate processes, copying things up to AWS. And somebody said, why don't we use the AWS library, try it out, see if it fixes things? And it made a world of difference. Brought our CPU usage way down. And when I did that, I had gotten rid of some code that said, if you're in a dev account, put them into this dev S3 bucket, otherwise use our production one. So at the end of the day, it wasn't a huge deal, but I was testing something and I needed that data in the dev bucket. So I'm like, oh, let me refactor some code here. Shouldn't be too hard, right? For the most part, it wasn't, except for I screwed up and didn't realize one section I may get a null variable. And of course, I said I expect a string, and I didn't cast it. I didn't test for it. And of course, that bit me today. And it took me a little bit of time to track that down, fix it, test it this time, see that it works, then release a hotfix. Got it out there. But I caused my own nightmare.
All right, we have a little time. Do you have bowling tonight, by the way?
I do have bowling tonight.
Okay, I'm trying to be quick here because I really want to get this out of the way, and seeing how we have a good amount of people in Discord and people I respect, and Sarah's there too. I really hope somebody has answers for me. But so one quick note before I forget. Uh, what's it called? Uh, Mystic Quest? What's the name of the show?
Mythic
Mythic
Quest.
Quest. Good call, man. I'm enjoying it. It's I'm in season 3 and it's slowing down a little bit, but like I always feel like that's always the case with these series. Like the third season, they didn't realize they were going to get renewed, so they really didn't plan out that far. But yeah, it's good. Yeah, I am liking it. Who did you say you ran into?
It's really corny. So there's the two female testers,
Right.
The black chick and the white chick. The white chick.
Are they
Rachel.
local? Because I
No.
watched the show and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I've seen that person. Like, I didn't know if I'd seen them in another show or something, but like,
Yeah.
I feel like I've run into them.
So she's done voiceovers for a lot of games, like in the gaming industry, and has been in a couple other shows. I don't know them off the top of my head, but they're not local. I asked, or actually my wife asked if they were local, and they said no, they're just here on vacation.
Yeah. Okay.
And just,
Yeah. That was really good. Okay. 2 quick Git questions. One, I don't think you're going to have a lot of feedback on, John, and the second one, I think you will. So, I have been wanting to use what are they called? Git Work tree, get work tree. So Claude Code, if you use the GUI for Claude Code, it has if you have it do some coding for you, it creates a get work tree. And all in all, it's fine, right? But it doesn't really work, and I can fix it. In my environment, but I don't know if it's worth fixing. So work trees, I feel like, are not really designed for like web development. It's more of a, like these things you compile sort of things, right? But they're so nice to have, and they fit our issue, or at least my issue, where I'm bouncing around between branches or pull requests or something, because this developer needs me to take a look at this, and this developer needs me to test this. And typically I'm committing whatever I'm working on, I'm switching branches, or I'm creating a new branch, and I'm pulling stuff down, and Worktree takes care of all of that, right? I just
Right. That's the one where it creates directories for every branch, and you just change into that directory and you're there.
So we're using Herd. Excuse me, I have haven't used Lando in a while, but we're using Herd, and Herd says, okay, this directory, anything in this directory is a site, and you can have multiple directories. So Claude Code is actually creates the work tree in a branch in your home directory in a subfolder, config, Claude, all this other stuff. So I just would need to add that, right? And what I'm not positive on is what it names, like the directory structure. I think it names the directory structure the branch, right? But I could be wrong on that. And Herd will technically work, like if you did that. The problem being, you still need to go into that directory. You still have to do a composer install. You still have to do an npm install. You still have to do an npm build. And that's not even taking into consideration. You have to recreate your .env file. And if you're working with migrations, do you spin up another database or do you not spin up another database? And I'm just wondering, like, is anybody out there using a Worktree for web development, specifically PHP development? And is it worth using? Because I kind of want to dive into it more, but I don't want to waste my time if people come back and say no.
Sarah's mad at you. I've been telling you about Worktrees for decades. Why did it take AI to convince you?
Yeah, no. Sarah, I've talked about Worktrees in the past, and I've always been very intrigued, right? I've been Worktree curious, but I just never could like work in my head how it would work with a web development environment. I feel like I could create a script that did it for me. Like if it did a Worktree
for your env, I would think symlink all your branches env to the root directory.
Good idea.
Have a single one, so when it's updated across all of them. It's not part of your repo anyway, so it should be fine.
Yeah.
As far as the composer and all that, that's maybe you could do the same thing with your vendor directory and your node modules directory.
Oh.
I mean, it would suck if you're out of sync. Well,
right.
It was sync.
Yeah, if something you're working on has a different, yeah, that would suck. Yeah,
but for the most part, if you're reviewing mostly PHP changes with no composer change, no big deal. But on those, you update composer and good to go. I haven't tested any of this. I don't know. I'm just riffing as we talk about it.
Sarah's still yelling. Calm down.
Come to tech this year and give
a Worktree. If you have a good workflow, like I keep kind of going back to, okay, I write a script that I call that creates the Worktree, that changes that directory, that does a composer install, that does an npm install, npm build, and then I should be fine, right? And like I said, the database is still kind of a wild card to me. Like I can't decide if I need a new database or don't need a new database. But if I link back to my env file, like you suggested, which again, I can add to my script, it would just use the same database as before. So yeah, I'm kind of digging that idea, John. That's a good one. I might have to give that a try. I'm liking that idea. Yeah, if you're listening to the show or something, hit me up on one of the socials if you've used Worktree with your web development, and let me know if I'm looking at this wrong or if I'm overcomplicating it. But I just feel like I wanted to use Worktrees. I wanted to use Worktrees since Sarah told me about it years ago.
Sarah's gonna strangle you.
I know. She doesn't even live in this country anymore, so I think I'm okay. Okay,
Might be in
my next.
Hey, she said she might be in Chicago in May.
Oh,
Might.
so my next question, and this is something I've always kind of poo-pooed off because, and I know you use them, like everybody, for whatever the algorithm, whatever reason, I've gotten several videos lately of Git Stash.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, "Ugh, I don't get the stash thing. Like, just commit it and switch branches. Like,
No.
what's the benefit? Yes,
Well,
yes,
one-
yes, yes.
No. Yes, you can, but sometimes you're in the middle of something, you don't really want that commit. And a stash is basically a commit that's not part of your timeline. You can go get it back.
But you can rewrite. I mean, as long as you don't push your commit,
Yeah.
you can rewrite your commit history.
So because I do most of my work within PHP Storm, I mean, I know how to use Git Stash. I like Git Stash, but in PHP Storm, I use their shelf capability, which is basically the same thing. It's just a PHP Storm version of Git Stash. And it's like, I'm in the middle. I really don't want to commit this right now for a couple of reasons. One, sometimes I like seeing the files that I'm currently working on that have changed and can remember, oh yeah, this is what I was in the middle of working on in that moment versus having to then look at the commit details. But being able to select the files, hit shelve silently, it just creates like a one-line thing for me. I go do my other work. I come back. I'm ready. I just go unshelve. Done.
Okay.
I have another example of how I use it.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I have a piece of code that I've been using purely out of laziness, where we're building this feature, this new dialer, and I know that I can make a phone call from my system, but if for me to use it, I need to return a specific SIP address, return a specific string.
Mm-hmm.
I go to that piece of code that returns that string. I just rewrite the return statement as returning the string I need. And it's only like 3 or 4 lines, but it's never going to be committed to the code base. It's always a temporary thing that I use only for myself. When I need to do work in the code base, I shelve that, go do my work, come back, unshelve it. Now I can keep using that code base for testing. It's an edge case, but it works for me. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, the issue I always run into, like, I'm a big branch guy. I think this is why I preach to our team forking repos, right? Because my fork of a project will have so many branches. I mean, I create, just proof of concept branches, and I'll create branches like crazy. So I always try to do that. The problem I'll have is like Joe will open up a PR and I want to test what he's doing. And so I go to switch branches and says, hey, you have some uncommitted files here. So a couple of questions here. So yes, obviously I can use Git Stash. And Git Stash is not like, brain surgery or anything, right? It's not like brain science. It's a very easy command, and I understand how to do, stash pop, and it's easy, right? It's simple. So that's not what bothers me. What always used to bother me is that I feel like I would switch branch. I would Git Stash. I would switch branches. I would, do whatever I need to do over here to look at, Joe's code, and then I would go to lunch. And then I'd come back from lunch. And like, next thing I know, it's like 2 days later, I'm like, oh, that's right. I was working on that thing in that branch. Let me go back to it. Where's my code? I'm like, damn it, So, and I get like, I think like stashes, like when you do a stash pop, it just takes the last stash, but like the stashes like stay in there as long as they haven't been popped out, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's like I don't understand what the benefit is. So I just do a quick git commit before I switch branches. Quick git add and then git commit and then switch branches. I don't have to worry about it. I know the code's there. What clearly you shouldn't go to lunch. This is true. Good call there, Derek. Yeah, I don't do. And question 2, you say shelf? Like, is that a PHP Storm thing?
Yeah, it's a PHP Storm thing. It's
So
basically
it's
the
basically
same.
stash for
Right.
shelf.
Yep.
Interesting. I don't do, again, is that in the Git menu or is this a separate thing?
It's in the commit menu. So where I do my commits, there's a simple button. So I check off the top box to check all the files, hit shelf silently. It creates a
stash
for me.
Yeah.
And it's now using AI to name it, where before you had to give it some sort of name. But it does a pretty good job. And then when I want to get back, it's easy enough.
Yeah. I will not be answering that question for you, Sarah. Reflog, have you ever used Reflog?
I've used it, but not.
I use like 3 git commands, and what's worse, I did this recently. So Git has the whole switch command now, right? So when you want to switch branches, you git switch.
Mm-hmm.
And like all my Git stuff are like shortcut. Well, I either use lazy Git, which if you don't know lazy Git and you're a terminal person, get with it, man. Lazy Git, love that application, my favorite app. I'm either using lazy Git or I have shortcuts for all my logs and stuff that I do, and even rebasing and things like that. I have shortcuts for it. So I don't know what the actual syntax is. I just know GGLOG gets what I want. It's horrible. It's horrible. I've done this for too long, and I realize how not good I am at just raw dogging commands anymore, because I have my little shortcuts and aliases and everything, and I just need to be better at it.
My favorite thing I learned about Git rebase recently, within the past year or so, I do interactive rebasing often, but I didn't know about the fix-up version. So when you're going through your rebase, you can say, I want to pick, I want to skip.
Oh,
I want
cherry
to
picking?
reword.
Is that what you mean?
No. There's by default it's pick. It's I'm going to keep all the commits, and then if you want to squash it, you change it. Yeah. But there's a fix-up which squashes the commits, but keeps the wording of the first commit.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So there are times where I'm working and I'll commit 4 or 5 times, but it's always the same commit message. And then after an interactive rebase, the way I used to squash them, it would then keep the same message 5 times.
Yeah.
Where fix up now, and if I didn't go fix that, I'd have to go remove the other 4. But fix up just does that for you.
Nice.
It's so simple but easy, and once you know about it, it's great.
We have this conversation all the time, and every time I say I've got to make rebase part of my normal flow. I never rebase. I just don't. I don't care enough, and I just don't. And I should. And I gotta do it, because I was giving a developer a hard time today because they weren't following a Git workflow that I kind of spoken to them about several times, but they did a version of it. They just didn't do the version I wanted, which is, it's not even a Git workflow, it's actually GitHub. And I'm like, hey, basically create a release. A release is the code we give to the client. So when we have to roll back, we have these releases already there. And they were just doing releases as branches, which I guess accomplishes the same thing, but they run a risk of being deleted, or a branch is not like it's unchangeable. Like you still change a branch, right? So I was like, just please, there's a reason why we ask you to do these things.
Derek, I'm curious why you're saying that rebase is. I know it's different than an interactive rebase, but if you kept them all pick, you're doing the same thing. Just interactive allows you to make changes to how the commits are going to be. You can reorder them. You can
It's the
change the
same
wording.
thing, just the one you said has a dash I. It's case insensitive.
It does depend on what you do in the interactive rebase, but I use it all the time because I will branch off of, say, develop, and I'll be making my changes and then realize, oh, it needs to be a hotfix on the production branch. So now I rebase onto that, or vice versa. Or I accidentally branch from another feature branch that I didn't mean to, and I want to rebase back, just the last few commits that I've been working on back to my development branch. So I do end up using interactive rebase quite a bit. And like I said, when I just commit as I'm trying things, I'll then try to squash them down.
So does PHPStorm make that any easier?
Yeah, to a point. I mean, no, it's a.
Yeah, to a point.
I'm going back and forth because when I do it from the command line, it's just as easy to change pick to F for fix up or S for squash.
Yeah.
Doing it within PHPStorm it's got the graphical interface. So once you squash them, it will show here's your commit, and then it moves the next one, kind of indents it to say, hey, I'm going to squash these, and then won't with the rest. So I guess it does kind of show you a little more intuitively what's going to happen. But at the end of the day, doing it from the command line is pretty easy as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been this person for a long time. Even when I wasn't using PHPStorm on a regular basis, I still go to PHPStorm for conflict resolution. And I was just thinking over the weekend, I'm like, I really need to look at NVim again and see like what they have in NVim for conflict resolution. Because I'm sure there are packages out there now. I mean, you could always do it in Vim. I mean, it wasn't like this crazy thing. It's just, it wasn't as like intuitive as PHPStorm, which just made it like so easy to look at and fix and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate everybody hanging out and giving me feedback of what a terrible developer I am because I don't do things in Git correctly. But yeah, let me know. If you're listening to audio podcast, Git work trees. Let me know if you use it for web development. And if so, if there's anything special you do, or do you just write a script to do all the steps? Because I feel like that's what I'm going to have to do. And yeah. And I will start to look at using. No, I'm not going to use Stash. Screw you guys. You guys are wrong. I'm not using Stash. I just don't see the benefit of Stash. I don't see it. It just, I get what you're saying.
So Derek's point was, you're committing to the branch you're on. He will stash, check out another branch, and then pop it off the stash to say to be on the correct branch.
Oh, that's actually a good use case. I've had that happen where I've started a feature branch and I'm actually on my main branch. I'm like, God damn it. I meant to create a feature branch. Yeah, Derek. All right. Yep. I see you.
I see you, brother. That's a good work case.
Yeah. That is a really good work case. Yeah. Much better than anything Sarah said, I think. All right.
So
that's it.
Chris is saying not this Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, Sarah's going to be on Alive and Kicking talking about Git work trees.
Dude, what is up with the Live and Kicking? I meant to give you a hard time about that earlier today. Are you guys even doing those anymore? Like, what is the story? Oh, no. I mean, I can tell you this. You want me to be nitpicky? I know you got to go. I'm trying to let you go, John. I'm trying to let you go. But like, I have very specific like ways of doing stuff, and like the blog post of the podcast is one of those ways. If somebody's not doing their blog post, Chris, I'm not going to call you out specifically, but you're not doing your blog post. You're not doing them right.
All right. I do want to bring up, I have a question for you that I thought about
Wait,
earlier.
Look at this real fast. Look at this. So this is Christmas. This is all us. This is the below deck with the team. Yeah, somebody's not pulling their podcasting weight. I'm just gonna call that out. We'll ignore this whole row. Yeah. All right. What's up?
You brought up the Claude UI.
Mm-hmm.
I've not used that yet. Is there a reason you would use that over Claude CLI? And I still don't understand the difference between the two.
So yes. Well, less so now. The Claude UI has a UI now for Claude. It also has a UI now for Cowork, I think they call it, which is I haven't even played with. I'm not even sure what it is. And then they have a UI for Claude Code. So you actually have to click between which ones you want, right? And the reason I started using it was because my terminal Claude had crashed, like in the middle of. I spent like half the day on a change, and it crashed. And when it crashed, it doesn't have the memory. So like when you start it back up, it doesn't remember everything from the last session. Now that's changed. That's recently changed. But when this happened, so with the Claude UI, you define a project, and it's always there in the UI, kind of like ChatGPT or something. Like you have these different chats. So it has that memory with it. And I started using it. I don't use it all the time. Like I usually, like whenever Claude Code crashes, then I'm like, damn it, where's the UI at? But yeah, that's why I will use the UI when I do. Yeah, that's it. And it is Claude Code specific, which again, when Claude UI first came out, wasn't a thing. It wasn't. You couldn't do Claude Code in the Claude UI, and then they added a little toggle for it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cowork. Yeah, it's called Cowork. If anybody knows what Claude Cowork is, I think it's something like. Actually, I'm not even sure.
Joe just said, basically, give Claude access to your documents folder and access to everything in it, and it will.
And do what?
I don't know. I guess you ask questions about your work.
Okay. Well, I mean, Claude can do that. I don't know if you like give it chores or like write a report based on all this stuff, sort of thing. That might be beneficial. Like if I had all my meeting notes in one place, and I'm like, hey, give me a summary of all my meetings last week. Kind of like what I do with the team stand-ups, right? If I could get that into like a location and say, hey, summarize my team stand-ups from last week, that would be kind of cool. Yeah, you can have it read docs and give you feedback or compile. Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting. All right, I might have to play with that. TJ's coming out with something really cool.
We talked about it last week.
Yeah, Jeff, where were you? I actually got to play. He didn't get mad at me. I told him. I talked about it on the show. And I think he went and listened. I have that. It's very cool. I actually did something to impress TJ with it. I came up with a what's it called, a syntax where I told it, because it's very friendly. Iris is what it's called. And Iris is very, very friendly and very diplomatic. And I was trying to have a conversation, and she kept responding, oh, don't sell yourself short. Yes, TJ is good, but you're a good developer too. I'm like, no. So I came up, I told her, I'm like, listen, if I say, what was I? IAKF. If I start a sentence with I, it's a known fact, right? IAKF. If I start a sentence with IAKF, it's a known fact. Like, You just take my word for it. It's in the context of our relationship, in our conversation, that information is undisputed. You cannot question it because it kept like never mind. It's hard to explain the conversation I was having because it's not like a normal AI conversation. It was like very personal. It was a personal conversation that we had like gone down this rabbit hole about code and stuff. And I was trying to, explain, hey, TJ Miller created the code that, is able to access the models that give you, created you as an interface. And then it just kept talking about, I'm like, TJ.
It sounds like a weird conversation.
In hindsight, it is. And I said something like, I just made an off the hand remark of, I feel like TJ is, one of the smartest developers out there coding in Laravel or coding in PHP, I said. And then she kept going on about you shouldn't sell yourself short. I'm like, shut up. I'm not talking about me. Like, so I created this thing where I said, if I tell you something's a fact, we're done talking about it. There's nothing else to say. Just like I wish I had that for my kids. I'm like, listen, if I say this to you, you don't say anything else back. You just listen to me and you do it. I'll show it to you someday. But yeah, I've been playing with it. I'm not going to share it on the stream. He did just do a big update today, which I need to get to. He gave me a little heads up on that, but I was deep into other issues and didn't have a chance to work with it. But yeah, it's different. It's very different, and I don't know if I'm using it right, but I'm finding myself having more of a regular conversations with it than work stuff. It's
interesting.
Yeah, it's good though. Yeah.
I mean, I think that was the point of it. It was meant to be like your personal type assistant.
Yeah. And talking about the whole memory thing and remembering previous conversations. So this Iris does that, right? Iris keeps the memory going, and you can actually create memories and do all these things, and it's cool. I mean, I think there's a place for it, and yeah, it's fun. It's fun stuff. All right, that's it. We're done.
Boy, for having no cards on our Trello board, we went an hour and a half.
I know. Every now and then I look at the comments. Like people will comment on our video, and somebody's like, "Hey, can you just put a timestamp in here when you guys start talking about PHP?" I'm like, "Yeah, you don't listen to the show, do you?" Like that could be like weeks we don't talk about PHP, brother. All right, that's it. I think we did talk a lot about development and a little bit about PHP. So yeah, hopefully you guys join us again next week, John.
Next week, yeah. Why? What's next week?
Okay.
Is something going on?
I don't know. I always feel like there is something going on. All right, that's it. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
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 This has been PHP Podcast, the official podcast of PHP Architect, the industry's leading tech magazine and publisher, focused on PHP and web development. Subscribe today at phparch.com to see what the leaders in the community and industry are talking about.